covering a distance of over 600 kilometers in less than 2 days' time in the drought-affected districts of Jalna, Beed and Marathwada, Caritas India team looked to answer a few urgent questions like: how is the present crisis worse than that of 1972? Other than shortage of rain, recorded at an unprecedented low of 55 mm against ideal 750 mm in Jalna and Beed, what are the other factors adding to this crisis? On our way, we interacted with a group of farmers and their families. They told us that with poor rain this year, their cotton field yielded only 3 quintals against average of 6 quintals per acre.
We are in a settlement where there are 350 people.
Water carried in this drum with capacity of 200 liters from a distance of 3 kilometers with help of bullock carts is shared by 15 members of 3 families living in this area.
The water that they use for drinking, and we'll test it when we go to Aurangabad.
Apart from drinking, the same water is used for all other purposes of washing and cleaning. The situation is only getting worse with every passing day. On our arrival at Korwad village, roughly 35 kilometers from Mantha town in Jalna, a group of villagers narrated to us their stories of struggle. 20% of the total 1500 villagers here reportedly migrated to Mumbai. More are waiting to follow if the situation in the next 15 to 20 days don't improve. Out of 20 wells within 3 to 5 kilometers of the village, 10 wells are totally dry. 8 of them have 2 to 3 feet unclean and stagnant water with no fresh source of running stream. The only 2 wells with running streams are drying up as fast as 2 feet every week. Out of 4,000 water tankers deployed for rural Jalna districts according to newspaper sources, not even one made its way to this village. In Vagoda and Barut, 2 villages clubbed as Group Panchayat, which is local governance. 25 out of 60 families were forced to migrate. With no sign of water tankers, people are compelled to fetch water from wells at least a kilometer away. This cattle camp at Takalwadi has 560 small and big livestock. Similar camps at other areas run by non-governmental organizations and other private parties say that government provides rupees 60 per cattle per day, whereas the expenses are more than rupees 100. A full-grown cattle consumes up to 15 kg of fodder every day. Below Basti Japewada in Shirur Taluka of Beed district is left only with 200 people out of nearly 500. Most of them have moved to brick kilns in a neighboring Nagar district that provides slightly better water facilities and also cash for work. Water tankers visit this village once in every 8 days, whereas the villagers do not have means to store enough water to last even for 2 days. Water brought from polluted water sources like drains and drying wells seems clean but carry many germs, making the villagers get cold, cough, fever, diarrhea and number of other diseases.
कितने दिन से?
3 दिवस कंबर दुख को जस्ट
दवाई लिया है आपने?
हाँ काल.
We have sent water samples from these areas and reports are expected. Picking up on a random water tanker spotted on our way, we demanded to take a look at the distribution record register. The existing gap of information among the villages clubbed with corruption in the administration is also found to be among the major factors leading to the crisis.
अभी हम लोग यहाँ पर खड़े हैं जहाँ पर टैंकर वाला भी है, हम भी है, बस्ती भी है और हम जो रजिस्टर चेक कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर, तो रजिस्टर के अंदर जो है 3 तारीख से इस एरिया के अंदर रेगुलर पानी नहीं दिया गया है और इस तरीके से कोई भी एंट्री इस रजिस्टर के अंदर नहीं है. आप देख सकते हैं रजिस्टर के अंदर जहाँ पानी नहीं भी दिया हुआ है फिर भी आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं कि सिग्नेचर लिए हुई है ये. तो आपके गांव के लिए कब की योजना रखी हुई आपको मालूम है क्या? ये तो हमको कुछ मालूम नहीं.
With soaring temperature at an average of 39 degrees Celsius and no trace of rain at least in the coming 2 weeks, the crisis is getting worse every day. Newspapers have reported dams in Marathwada district with only 8% water remaining as compared to 18% last year and 46% year before around this time. With water reaching dead storage level at Jaikwadi, the biggest dam in Maharashtra, newspaper reports say that the water from the dam is likely to meet drinking water needs only for the current season.
Bad that this dam has left with only dead stock.
Desilting from many of these dams initiated by the government might do good only when the rains come, but it is not helping to solve the scarcity of water at the moment. The crisis is driving people insane in many parts of these districts as they resort to disrupt water supply by punching holes into pipelines, leading to excessive waste of already scarce water resource. Lack of proper mechanism to mitigate the existing gap between the government and people is further aggravating the crisis. Women and children are the most affected. Women who already had regular chores at home after lending their hands to their husband in the fields have an added responsibility now to fetch water from wells that are as far as 2 to 3 kilometers away. While it is certainly important to draw a long-term strategy for mitigating drought in these districts, it has become unavoidable to work out a short-term plan to minimize the gap between the people and the existing resource. Failing to do so may disturb the social equilibrium within and outside these districts with possible large-scale forced migration. Unlike the food crisis in 1972, this year the fast depleting groundwater is making the crisis worse than ever.